Welcome to Beyond Common Business Secrets. This is the podcast where we talk about the inner game of high ticket success, mastering your mindset, communication, and soul aligned action. I'm your host, Tracey Watts Cirino. And today we're talking about one of the most frustrating experiences I see so many entrepreneurs, business owners, coaches, consultants, and experts experience. I see you out there. You are showing up, right? You're showing up. You are creating content. You're sharing your knowledge. You're being consistent. People are engaging with you. They're even liking your posts. They're commenting things like, "You're amazing. This is exactly what I needed to hear today." You always say things that really make me think. And yet, the sales conversions aren't happening. The clients aren't coming in the way that you thought they would. And you start scratching your head and asking yourself, what am I missing? Why do people seem to love what I share, but they aren't actually buying? And this is the part that might surprise you. The problem is not that people don't trust you. In fact, they might trust you a lot. They might actually really trust and value you. The missing piece is the bridge between them trusting you and the decision to take action, because people do not buy just because they like you and even trust you. They buy when they clearly understand that you can help them. They clearly understand, this is my problem. This, what she's talking about, this is the solution to my problem. This is the clear next step for me. So today we're going to break down that missing bridge and really talk about how to turn attention that you're getting into aligned action so that you can attract the buyers, because we're in business to have buyers, and you don't have a business unless you have a sale, right? So we need more buyers. That is the fundamental basics of business. So I like to call this sort of the engagement trap. Let's talk about something that can be incredibly confusing as a business owner. And it is that you create a post. You create, it could be a social media post, a blog post, an email. You create something and you put it out there. It performs well. People respond. You get comments. Maybe someone even private, DM'd you and said, "I needed this today. Thank you." And that feels so amazing, right? That feels amazing because connection matters. Your work matters. Being seen, it feels good. It matters. But then later you look at your bank account, your calendar, in your inbox, and you realize, wait, where are my buyers? Where are the buyers for, all this great stuff I'm doing? This is where many entrepreneurs and business owners start making the wrong conclusion. And it can have us start operating out of fear. They think, "Oh, I need more followers. I need more visibility. Uh, Something must be wrong with my content. I need better content. I need to go viral." But I want you to think about this. Sometimes the issue isn't that you need more people to see your message. Sometimes the people already seeing your message out there, still don't have enough clarity to make a buying decision. I see this so often. I coach and mentor so many people that have hundreds of thousands of followers and are not getting as many sales as you would think. And then somebody like myself where I don't get a ton of engagement on all of my social media, but I do attract buyers. And I have a way of using my my money messaging in a way that makes people self-identify and stand up and buy. And no matter if you have no followers, 10,000 followers, 2,000 followers, or 100,000 followers, if you're using your social media for any type of business, you want your messaging to attract buyers, right? It's great to have engagement, but if this is a business, then you need the sales. So this is not like the same. One of the things I really work on with those clients are being liked and having engagement is not the same as attracting buyers. They're very different. So here's a distinction that will change the way you think about marketing. It'll change the way you think about marketing forever. So when when you look at it through this lens, like being liked is not the same as being chosen as someone that people buy from. People can love your content, they can admire you, they can think you're brilliant, they can like you and want to hang out with you and still not buy. And then you're asking yourself, well, then why am I doing all of this? Like, why? It's because buying requires a different level of clarity. Your audience needs to understand, like, this is all going on subconsciously in their mind. Why does this matter for me? Why does this matter now? And why is this the solution I need? There is a difference between, that's interesting. Or I know we talked about this in another podcast. It's like, oh, that's cool. Like if you get a lot of that instead of, oh my goodness, this is what I need. Here's my credit card. You're really looking instead of like, oh, that's interesting. You want to hear people say, that's exactly what I need. Oh my goodness, how do I work with you? Your goal is not to just create interest. Your goal is to create recognition to where a decision is made that I want to buy from you. That is what you're looking for. So, um, it's sort of like common that in especially in the online space that people become like the friendly expert. Like I call this the friendly expert problem. And this is especially common with heart-centered entrepreneurs. And I work with a lot of heart-centered entrepreneurs because many of the people that I work with, they genuinely care. They don't want to pressure anyone. They they don't want to come off salesy, they don't want to sound salesy because they have a preconceived notion in their mind that salesy can be like sleazy, and they just don't want any part of that, and rightfully so. None of us do. None of us like to be sold to, but we all like to buy when it's something we need because we're in charge. We made the buying decision. And that is how your client wants to feel. So many of the heart-centered entrepreneurs that I work with, they want to educate, they want to inspire, they want to give genuine great value, right? And these are all beautiful qualities, right? We need more of this in business. We need more of this in humans across the globe. These are beautiful qualities, but sometimes what happens is they become incredible teachers, but unclear that you're actually selling something. So you're teaching people, but what's for sale? I don't know. So you're not guiding them to the sale. They give so much information that the audience thinks, wow, she knows so much. She's such a great teacher. That's really impressive. But they don't necessarily think, she's the person I need to hire right now to help me solve this problem. So let that land, right? Because the bridge between the information and the transformation that you can help solve for your client, that is what's missing. And this is the bridge we're talking about today. So, the difference between the information and the buying decision, I want you to take a deep breath. I hope you're with me still. Take a deep breath and think about this. You could spend hours watching videos, right? You can spend hours watching videos about fitness, all types of fitness. You could watch yoga, you could watch CrossFit, you could watch weightlifting, Pilates. You could watch so many videos about fitness. You could save the workouts. You could read nutrition tips. You could start following tons of blogs on Pinterest um, that have workouts, that have nutrition tips. You could start following trainers. You could know exactly what you quote unquote should, right? What you should do. But eventually, the decision becomes, am I ready to commit? Right? That is that buying decision. That decision happens when the right person connects your problem to a solution. So the same thing happens every day in your business, right? Your audience might already know that I need better marketing. I need more clients. I need stronger sales. I need better systems. Like this is stuff that I know my clients need. You know, they're thinking this like I need better marketing. I need more clients. I need stronger sales. I need better systems. I need to be able to scale. I need to understand how to use AI and still be a human and have human-like touch points all throughout the sales system. But they may not understand how this person specifically will help me solve that problem. So that is the bridge, right? That is the bridge. Whatever you're selling, you want to make sure it's crystal clear. So, this is why messaging matters so much because most experts are explaining what they do from their expert perspective, right? It's like being high up on the mountain. Like you forget what it was like when you were down in the trenches and all these things were on your mind, right? And what happens is, as the expert, when you're marketing from your high level perspective, you're saying things like, oh, here's my process, here's my framework, here's my methodology, here's what I teach, or here's what I do. And you're just saying it like matter of fact. And again, none of this is wrong because your process does matter. It can be a point of difference if you are marketing it. Your expertise matters when you use it as a point of difference in a marketing angle. But when you talk from this high level expert perspective, you get the, oh, that's interesting, or that's cool, or the glazed over eyes where people step back instead of lean in. So your audience first needs to understand the result that you provide. What is that problem that you are solving for them? They need to see they need to see like where am I right now? Where do I want to go? And how does this person before me, whether they're finding you online or you're having a face-to-face conversation, they're asking, how does this person help me get there, right? This is where I am. Does she understand where I am? And where do I want to go? Like, is she painting this beautiful picture of where I want to go in my business, in my life, in my career, in whatever is the problem that you're solving for them in your business. So they're asking this question. Some people are highly aware and they know they're asking this, but 99% of people, this is all happening on a subconscious level. This is how we create buying decisions and just align decisions in general. So this is exactly why I created my voice to cash methodology, right? It was to cut through all the noise. I created this because your voice is powerful and your expertise is valuable. But there's a difference between having something valuable to say and saying it in a way that creates movement. The movement being, oh my goodness, how do I work with you? Here's my credit card. The movement is what creates buyers, not just, oh yeah, that's cool, right? The words are not just words. Your message is that bridge between your knowledge and your buyer's decision, which is what creates the action, what creates the movement. And business grows when sales happen, and that is that energetic movement. So when your audience can finally connect the dots, sales become more natural, right? It doesn't feel like salesy or like ick in any way. It's never happens because you pushed harder, because that energetically feels like ick. So it's not because you pushed harder, it's because you communicated more clearly the problem that you solved to the person that needs that problem solved. Like, woo, light bulb. That's when it goes off. And that's when it's so exciting. This is like my favorite moment in business when I'm helping my clients. I'm just like, yes, I get as excited as if it was like the first time that we ever sold anything. It's like so much fun. So there's a huge shift that happens. So I want you to look at your content differently. Like from this day forward, it's like make the line in the sand. From this day forward, we look at your content differently. And don't only ask, did people like this? Right? Because does the like matter? In business, not so much. I want you to ask, and for those of you that are not driving, you like will want to write this down because you'll find it so helpful later. So you want to ask this question. Did this help someone recognize themselves? Like, right? So, did this help someone recognize themselves in your offer, in the problem that you solve, in what you do in business? Did it make them think that's my problem. I need her. That's what I've been trying to solve for myself, and wow, that's exactly it. That's that's the person who understands what I've been going through, because that is where the buying decision begins. So write those down because that is going to help you frame your content in a way that is not just things that people like and engage with, but that actually makes them make a buying decision. So if you save this episode, you can go back and play that back and write that down again because that is going to be so helpful. And if you're sitting here realizing, okay, Tracey, I get it. I have content. I am really good at what I do. So I have expertise. Like I do amazing things for my clients. But I need my message to create more movement so that people actually take buying decision action. That is exactly why I created my free money messaging training, where I walk you through how to identify the gaps between what you know, so your expertise, and what you say, and then what your ideal clients actually hear. So you can access this free training through the link in the show notes. So it will be right in the show notes for you. I cannot wait to hear from you. Let me know what you uncover after you do the free money messaging training. It's a really short training, and I know you will find it so helpful. It's valued at over 500, but you get it for free. And inform me what you uncover and what this changes for you. And then remember, people don't buy because people aren't not buying from you only because they haven't heard from you, like heard of you, because that's only one part of it, right? Because sometimes people think, oh, well, if I get more visible and I'm in front of people all the time, then I'm going to get more buyers. Well, that could be true. It's part of it, right? Like you've got to find the people that want what you have to offer because they're already actively searching for you. So people don't buy because they have never heard of you. That's only one piece of it. They buy because they finally understand why you are the right person to help them. So even with a small audience, you will get more sales by being crystal clear on what you help your clients solve, like on that problem. So your expertise is valuable. Your message and how you deliver it in more of this money messaging framework, that message is the bridge. So, as always, congratulations on being here and listening to Beyond Common Business Secrets. We so value your time and appreciate you being here. We would love for you to share this episode with a fellow business friend or your business owner bestie. And as always, stay beyond amazing, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, my friend.